on this computer. And then to the other.
Hello, YouTube universe.
Hello, gang. And now there's that go live button. So chances are we're live. So, hey, welcome back. It's Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. It is the Evan and Aaron show. I am Aaron. This is my pal, Evan. If you've never seen us before, want to know what you've been doing for the last 26, 27 weeks.
27 weeks, brother.
Otherwise,
27 weeks, man.
Evan and I are having drinks like we would, and we're just having to do it via this way.
Real quick, did you notice anything different?
You seem to have shaved a bit. You seem
yes,
to
I
have,
did. Yes, I did, my friend.
Was this imposed or just a decision, or are you getting ready for November?
You know what? That is it. I thought about it, and I'm like, I want to be fresh going into Movember.
Right on.
And I want to support my brothers and make sure that we all are staying healthy. And, as you know, Movember, for those of you out there, testicular cancer awareness and all that good stuff. And so we don't shave during Movember. So, yeah, it's going to be fun, man. There may be some, mustache thing.
Well, and there's for those who aren't familiar, there you can just Google Movember, but it's a cause. It's kind of like, breast cancer awareness month for women. It's testicular cancer, and I'm just going to throw in a lot of other men's issues there too. I think
sure.
Get your testicles tickled, and
shouldn't take more than that. I think
get the greasy finger in the booty as well, and take care of two at once. And I know that sounds like a normal Friday night for some of you, but you probably want it to be an actual doctor in a lab setting. Just because she's
not in the back alley.
Just because she dressed up like a nurse and put on a latex glove to do this does not mean she is official, no matter what her website said. So we are off and running tonight. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, as you probably saw, and we are going to get to it. But this is, what grinds my gears. So
here we go.
I read about this today, and this tells me a lot about where we are right now, and it's really pissing me off. So there was a rumor that the California GOP was setting out their own ballot boxes.
Yes.
They were not official.
I saw this.
It's blatantly illegal to do. It violates any number of state and federal laws about who's responsible for voting. And when pressed on it, they not only said, yes, they're ours, but we're not going to stop doing it. We're going to leave them out, and we're going to continue collecting. Now, is this not just the biggest middle finger to the basic? Shouldn't the FBI be
voter fraud?
Well,
the hell?
Yes. And here's what I understand is, so where they're placing these, it seems like they're going to get just as many Republican as they are Democrat voters. First off, they're going to completely invalidate any of these ballots, right? Anytime somebody outside the election process touches it, I'm guessing that they're just invalidated. So that's what they want, of course. But secondly, now they're going to claim, oh, look, voter fraud. Well, yes, you're committing it.
Exactly.
But they've gotten so good at look at this hand while this hand's screwing you.
While this hand's doing this.
I'm just, it is as blatant as anything we've seen up to this point. And I just don't get it. How are they getting away with it, Evan? Do they just have that much clout now that they're just not going to get pushed?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of issues here. I mean, you remember back in the 60s where the Black Panthers were the ones, they were like, hey, look, we're gonna open carry at the state house, and they got a law passed saying that, oh, you can't do that. Right. I think that, number one, if this was another party that was responsible for this, everybody would be up in arms and everybody would be yelling and screaming. And this would be, at the forefront, and rightly so, of the Republican agenda. They'd be like, look, this is BS. But because the Republicans are doing this, everybody's quiet about it. And what's scary about it is this, Aaron, is that I saw this too, man. And the fact is that, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, those guys are reporting it, and they're talking about it and things like that. I have not watched the regular networks. I'm pretty sure that they would say something about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be interested to turn over to good old Fox News and see,
Oh, they're
what
not
kind of
reporting it.
spin they're putting on
No,
this,
I doubt they're reporting it at all. They just choose not to report things like that. Um,
Mm.
it- as an aside, I saw something yesterday. I follow Real Indie News on Facebook,
Oh,
and
okay.
I started following them. I found out about them way back in May and June uh, when we were marching. And a lot of other independent news organizations wanted to be on the ground because they didn't feel like the local indie news was giving it the kind of coverage it needs, which is ironic now that RTV6 is somehow seen as this liberal mouthpiece when all they're doing is reporting, what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, I follow Real Indie News, and they try to be kind of live on the scene. Typically, it's a dude with his cell phone and a mic, basically just walking around trying to catch up stuff. But I'm piggybacking on you talking about the Black Panthers. In California, there was an incident yesterday on 38th and Mithofer where somebody went to a restaurant and got into their kid, I guess, got into an argument with a worker there, and the worker chased them out with a bat. So the local chapter of the Black Panthers showed up,
All right.
and when the owner or manager found out about it, he did not want to be around for that. The police just happened to show up, and the Black Panther, the guy speaking for the Black Panthers knew his shit in and out, and he's like, yeah, the IMPD took off because they realized we weren't leaving and we were there legally and we weren't doing anything wrong, and we just want to talk to this guy. Turns out after all the kerfuffle, the guy spoke with the manager, and the manager has fired that particular employee for chasing the kid out. But just in general, I did not know we had a local chapter of the Black Panthers. I guess I'm glad we do. I just had not heard about it throughout all of this. I would have thought they might have had a bigger voice, but I know the Black Panther Party has kind of had a lot of ups and downs, and mostly downs since probably the height of their notoriety, and I'm guessing the late 70s, early 80s. But I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was a good thing. It's it's strange because I don't like seeing anybody in full riot gear carrying an automatic weapon. But it's interesting when the table is turned, so to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the interesting things on that line is when damn it, what was I calling her? What was I calling her now? Girlfriend? Was I calling her girlfriend?
Significant other.
I was, but I think I graduated to girlfriend, didn't I?
You should probably graduate to something else now.
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I were attending one of the protests this summer, and it was interesting because downtown Indy, picture this, Aaron, you had about a dozen, black men, full riot gear, carrying lock loaded stuff like that, just saying, hey, you know what? We are Americans too. So we can do it too. And obviously, you think about it, and the first thing I thought about was their safety. I was like, bro, I'm worried for you. But, the fact of the matter is that bringing it full circle, I think one of the reasons why these people get away with stuff like this is because it is very much that America has a case of selective hearing. They have a case of selective hearing, selective judgment. And, when it comes to things about racism, and it comes to things about discrimination and things like that, man, your responses are going to drip with whatever you truly believe. I mean, they just are. It's going to be like, you put you on a grill on the top shelf of the grill. Yeah, you're not getting the full, the direct heat, but you're going to start sweating what's inside of you. I mean, that's just a fact. And so when we see that, man, it's nothing more than what is on the inside coming out. And so you see people not paying attention to this who should be paying attention. Because if you're a Republican, and if you still stand behind something like this, I would challenge the fact that you are a Republican, because this goes against a regular Republican platform. This goes totally against what you would want.
Well, it should go against any civic minded, anybody,
Mhm.
who believes. We'll get into some constitutional topics, I'm pretty sure later. Um, but the words you chose, I follow you on Facebook. So the words you chose, I know stem from something else, and that
Yeah.
is, is it in Florida where they're renaming the school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and this, we can tie a couple things together here. Um, so in Florida, a high school chose to rename itself. I don't know what its previous name was. I should have done a
Mhm.
little research on that. I don't know what they're changing it from. They're choosing to name it Trayvon Martin High School.
Oh, wait,
And,
wait, wait. Sorry. My bad. My bad. It is the road out in front of the high school.
oh, road out. So
So
they're
it's not
just
even the high school.
so they're just renaming the road to be okay. So it's being renamed. It's in Florida. For whatever reason, this was reported in the local news. I saw it on WRTV6 on Facebook, and I think another, maybe it was Wish TV, or maybe it was Indy Star. I'm not sure, but um, and as was expected, not only was this met with an inordinate amount of outrage from a group of people who are completely unimpacted by it because they don't live in the state where this is happening, nor do they have any ties to that community in any way. But they demonstrated their racism, their ignorance. If you don't think Trayvon Martin was in the right on that night, and there are arguments to be made, I don't agree with them, but I understand the opposing viewpoint. If you think he acted maliciously and instigated things with George Zimmerman, that's you're entitled, and therefore you're entitled to believe that. Why would you name a street? Why would you name anything after somebody? I don't know. Why would you build a Confederate statue as well?
Right.
But that doesn't excuse you to go to the next level, and begin making racist comments. We've been seeing it a lot lately. Anybody, the irony of ironies, I'm going to just throw everything in here. Even Amy Coney Barrett, during her Senate confirmation hearings, admits that racism remains a scourge in America and is a problem, and is a day-to-day issue for people of color in this country. And I think that's a pretty stunning admission from somebody who seems to lack pretty much any other functional requirements to be a human being,
Mhm.
never mind a SCOTUS nominee, in my opinion.
Right.
But this exists. It exists in the video I saw earlier today about a guy confronting left-wing protesters at a Trump rally by saying Black lives don't matter, all lives matter, berating them in a number of ways, and then coughing on them because they were wearing masks and he wasn't. So the where we are with hatred and ugliness and racism, anybody denying that now is really truly living with their head in the sand. And I know it has existed. I grew up in a small town in Indiana, and I
Mhm.
saw um, I saw a strange amount of racism for a town that did not have many Black people in it. There was one Black family in town. I went to high
Wow.
school with two Black kids at a school that had like 1,200 students. Um, I mean, what how do you create racism out of whole cloth? Like, so I know it exists, but then to see it reinforced on a message board, which is the ugliest forum that you can ask for, it brings out the
Yeah.
worst in people. But
Yeah.
if you're, I'm sorry, if you're going to say that there, that's who you are. You're a
Mhm.
racist. You're an ugly person. And, I'm going to piss a lot of people off, but Hillary was right. Hillary told
Yes.
all about this. Some of you are fucking deplorables. The
Yep.
Russians were behind Trump. All this shit is true. You don't like it, but it's the truth. It is a
Mhm.
hard pill to swallow, folks, but it's where we are, and we've got racism. And I know you saw it today. How did you react to it?
Well, in everything you said, obviously, I, I jive with, just because I love you and
Well, you live it.
kind. Well, yeah, yeah. I think the thing for me is that it was so disheartening. Like, it's so disheartening to think about, the fact that for and I may piss someone off about this, but for 401 years, um, you really have lost sight of who you are. You don't have a country that you can call your own unless you have enough money to get a ancestry.com DNA kit, to find out. And then you're not even sure. Okay. It comes from several places. Um, but the fact of the matter is that when you look at some of these posts, I mean, for example, the Trayvon Martin post, um, and you see people using those old and tired arguments. And I'm sorry, I'm going to read some. This guy says it's amazing that everybody seems to know what happened in an incident that had no witnesses. So first of all, you've effectively minimized Trayvon Martin's life.
Mhm.
Secondly, you've legitimized George Zimmerman's response and raised them both to the same level. That is heinous within itself. Um, you know, Another person using the whole, hey, let's look and see what they've done wrong. So he got kicked out of school in dad's house, and then this happens. Sounds like a great role model. I know a lot of students that's happened to. Kip got kicked out of his mom's house and drove his Saab over to his dad's house and got into an accident. Yeah,
Mhm.
that happens to rich white kids too. So it's disheartening. I
Yeah.
mean, it is so disheartening to see what our country is.
Mhm.
And I chose that word, what our country is because it hasn't become this.
No.
It has always
Yeah.
been this,
In
Aaron. I
some
mean,
form or
it's
another,
always
yes.
been this.
Yeah.
And the times that you and I sit down and we talk, man, and we just share, that's what needs to start happening. That's exactly what needs to start happening in order to address things like this, in order to be able to talk to each other. Um, I I am of the mindset now, especially because of the confirmation hearings and stuff like that. I can't change that. The Republicans are going to do what they want to do. They're going to do it. And I think you said something a couple of weeks ago that really stuck with me, that really resonated. And it was, are you surprised? No. And we need to stop being surprised.
Yeah.
We need to stop being surprised that Republicans are opportunists, because let's just face the fact they are
Mhm.
politicians. Politicians are
Yeah.
opportunists. Now, some to a greater degree than others,
Yeah.
but they're opportunists. And so, this confirmation is going to happen. It's going to go through. The SCOTUS is going to be, she's going to go through. I mean, it's just going to happen. And the Supreme Court's going to be leaning right for a while.
Mhm.
But we cannot take our eyes off the prize, man. We can't. And quite frankly, the prize is kind of a dual prize. It's not just the
Mhm.
presidency. It
It's everything that
has
comes
to
with
be.
it. Yeah.
It's got to be the Senate. It's got to be the Senate attacking the Senate and defending the House. There you go.
Uh,
We need to
al-
be Under Armour.
Along those lines, there's been a lot of talk, especially about, whether or not, Joe Biden is willing to answer the question about what he would do with the Supreme Courts, and they call it packing the courts.
Yeah.
Which I find that to be an interesting phrase, because I would argue that, the GOP has tried to pack the courts recently. However, the definition of it is, adding Supreme Court justices specifically because you're in power and therefore have the ability. So I get that. I I don't understand why he's catching, such flack for it. Joe Biden has never. I think this is the funny thing in all this to me about, the tactics that the GOP is trying to use, and specifically Trump and Pence and these guys, about, trying to paint probably the most milk toast, center of the road politician that there could possibly be. And the funny thing is he's known for that because he could get things done. He was a friend of guys across the aisle, him and Lindsey Graham and John McCain. And John McCain were
Right.
very, very close friends. And, therefore that's truly what being moderate means, is saying, okay, we're in the middle on a lot of issues. I'm going to lean this way. I'm going to lean this way in order to get things done, in order to accomplish stuff. So the GOP trying to portray, Biden as some sort of radical, who's going to do these crazy things. It's really silly. And I think it's stuff like that, when people who've been Republicans for 50 years look at this and go, well, wait a second, that's not my experience with Joe Biden. You know,
Exactly.
I know you've been telling me not to like the guy for the last 12 years for everything that's gone on, and it's fairly effective, but everybody's personal experiences don't seem to be adding up here. Joe Biden never personally attacked people. Joe Biden never, advocated for crazy policies, and they're trying to make it seem like he wants Medicare for all and these Green New Deals and stuff. And he flat out said, no, I'm not for that. And to the point that he's turns off some left wingers. So trying to portray him as being like beholden to the far left of the party just blows my mind. Like that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Right. I mean, Andrew Yang and Elizabeth Warren and Bernie are sitting there looking at each other going, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wait a minute.
We're beholden to the left? I don't think so.
We're the ones. And so, for them to totally start attacking and to be like, hey, Biden is this and Biden is that and all this other stuff. And it's like, once again, we said it last week, and I'm going to say it again this week, guys, is that if you're not sure yet who is going to, cause more damage in the White House, first of all, go see a doctor. Second of all, don't. Just don't vote. Don't, because it's so reckless. If you're not convinced now, by now, man, don't.
Here's what I would recommend. I would recommend getting either some petroleum jelly,
here we go.
some oil, WD-40. Maybe get a friend who's slightly bigger than you are. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to like hold on, put the oil or whatever, the Vaseline, the petroleum jelly right around here, right? Whatever you got exposed.
Sure.
You're going to want to hold on to a beam, and then you're going to have your friend, maybe more, pull your fucking head out of your ass. Because you've clearly not been fucking paying attention for the last at least 4 years, and if not the last 3 decades, because we've been making fun of this goddamn idiot for that long, okay? He's that much of a failure, and I'm sorry. I love some of you. I don't understand what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. I think one of the things, too, to start drawing on, too, is the seniors.
He's losing them. He's losing them big now.
He's losing them. And the fact of the matter is that, I'm not sure what kind of boomer crowd we draw, but if we do, if you happen to surf the interwebs and you happen to see us, here's the thing: the guy is in debt over $400 million. And
wouldn't you like to know to who? Wouldn't you like to know who he? If I owed $40,000, you'd want to know who I owed that money to, because they could control me. $400 million.
That sounds a lot like an international debt.
Well, predominantly funneled through Deutsche Bank, who is also under investigation right now. And I saw this today. There's been a 3-year ongoing probe to see whether or not some Egyptian financier is laundering the money, the millions of dollars that mysteriously poured into the Trump campaign, like the last month of 2016 election. Okay. I don't know. We're never going to know. Look, in the last couple of weeks, Trump's been freaking out and he's been ramping up his attacks on people. So he, got the DOJ and Barr to go after Obama and Clinton and, what their role was in pushing the Russia narrative. Right. And then a week ago, Barr's like, oh, we've got a bunch of emails. We're going to be releasing all these emails. Fast forward to this week, the report.
Crickets.
The report has been submitted.
Yep.
And it's being suppressed because it basically exonerates Obama and Clinton. Because at most they went, hey, here's this thing. Right? Like somebody handed me this. You guys might want to take a look at this. Like they did not push any. Here's the thing. It's almost criminal in retrospect that Obama didn't do more, but he's such a good fucking guy that he went out of his way to see him to try to be impartial, to not influence things, knowing that it was going to have an impact. I mean, the worst thing that happened was this reopening of the case in Hillary Clinton by Comey, when in reality it was nothing.
Right.
He felt, again, this is what these career guys, they feel an obligation to do things a certain way. And then because we live in the era that we live in now, that's the wrong thing to do.
And Mueller is sitting somewhere going,
I don't know. I mean, very, very clearly people thought he should have been doing more. His own staff thought he should have expanded it and done more. So I do find that frustrating.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah.
As a side note, apparently the LA Dodgers finally realized they're playing in a championship series.
Oh, yeah.
They've decided to score all the runs they should have scored in the last couple of games tonight.
What are they up? They're up.
It's 14-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're up 2 touchdowns in a baseball game.
Hey, by the way.
Speaking of touchdowns.
Well, wait.
Okay.
I won a lot of money last night on the Braves, actually. So I'm very happy the Braves did the thing last night. But you know what? Here come the Dodgers. All right.
Yeah, but I got to be honest at this point. One, because the Braves beat our Reds, I was going to root for as long as I have no personal history with them, I'm going to root for the team that knocked us out. So I was rooting for the Miami Heat as well, right? But on top, yeah, I know. I'm
a big LeBron fan, man.
That's fine, but you understand the logic.
I understand. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect logic.
And everybody thought LA and Houston were on a collision course, which, quite frankly, a lot of us would have liked to have seen, because there's some history there that could have been really fun.
Remember in the early rounds, they were saying, Lakers Clippers.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do this.
Which would have been cool. But I tell you what, small markets, Braves versus Tampa Bay, this could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And the irony is that they're only about 8 hours apart, or if that, maybe an hour and a half plane ride.
So really,
and they're going to be playing the World Series in, I think, Dallas.
Yeah. So it's like it's there. No one's going to have a home field advantage because there's going to be fans anyway. Dude, you know what time it is.
Well, you mentioned touchdowns, so I'm going to say begrudgingly, congrats to your Browns for knocking off the Colts this weekend. Good game,
Jarvis.
Good. Jarvis Landry had a good game. I did not know Odell and what I think it was Jarvis. They threw to each other twice. So
once last week, once this week. Well, yeah.
So good on them. It was clever. Like I said before the show, I think it was a combo. Browns played well, did what they needed to do. Colts did not play as well as we've seen them play in the last few weeks. But hey, you got to show up. You got to play week in, week out. And so congrats to you. I believe it is your week to throw a shout out to whoever you would like.
Excellent. So this week, my shout out. Oh wow, you threw that one on me really quick. Okay,
it could be anything, man. We're not beholden to anything around here.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I am. I'm gonna. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna throw a shout out to my old man, my dad. My dad is one of our faithful watchers. I don't think he's on tonight because Dad just had a procedure done. And Dad's kind of recovering from that. He's good. But this one goes out to dear old Dad. Pop, I love you, and get better soon. Get well soon. To all the dads out there that are holding it down, that are OGs, man.
To all the dads, but specifically, I believe it's Bill Casey.
Bill, yep.
Bill. To you, I hope you recover quickly, and like and share.
Sláinte. Oh.
All right,
dude, the Fireball. It's just so good.
But it's so bad for you.
Well, yeah, but it's fall. It's fall.
True. And there are a lot of fun drinks. Yeah, I tell you what, make an Irish coffee and throw a little of that in there. It's nice. Yep. And there's you can go a lot of different ways. You can do do like the pumpkin spice flavor of the Baileys, and then you've got like a Fireball pumpkin pie.
You're going to You are purposely trying to put me on the list for liver transplant, aren't you? Thank you. Well,
You
yeah, I
can
got the shirt.
you
I'm
can
just
have
saying.
mine.
There you go. All right.
Um,
So you want
yes.
to talk about the term now? Originalism?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the like we've said, the hearings themselves. Um, I really haven't been paying any attention. I'm catching blurbs. The fact that she doesn't know certain federal laws, some of her wording, things like that. I mean, I I don't. I mean, I
If
wasn't.
you're not,
Wasn't gonna
yeah,
support her anyway. But I mean, this seems to be reinforcing an awful lot of that. And that I find it hard to believe that you would speak on at a group's conferences or whatever,
mhm,
and would be completely oblivious to what they're doing. With their stuff as far as being horribly anti-LGBT and that sort of thing.
right,
She like I said, I think it was Klobuchar who asked her straight up about voter intimidation. She went into the whole, well, I'd need to know the merits of the case and hear the arguments, blah, 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 blah. And Klobuchar's like, nah, there's just a federal law that says you can't do it. And let me read
right,
that to you.
right.
But she calls herself an originalist in the mold of Antonin Scalia. There's two kinds of originalists. Go look it up. I'm not going to explain it to you.
Mhm,
But basically, they believe that it should be interpreted largely as it would have been interpreted by a group of people at that time. Not necessarily using the dictionary definition of all the words, but how it would have been interpreted at the time. So presumably, she believes that you are 3/5 of a person and that she should not have the right to vote. Because those are originalist portions of the Constitution. Does that include Bill of Rights? Where do we cut it off? Are they allowed to say, I don't like the 14th and after? That kind of shit.
Obviously,
I mean,
obviously, in order to be a senator or a representative, you have to be a white man that owns slaves.
correct.
That's
Yes.
rich. That's
Yes.
rich.
Yes. You
So
have to own things.
yeah,
Here's the fun exercise I like to play is, so if you're going by what a normal person at the time would have interpreted the wording as, gosh, that puts them in a pickle with the Second Amendment, because at the time it would have been, commonly accepted that if you're going to have a weapon, you would be able to be, conscripted into a militia and that you would be
hmm
well regulated and your name would be on a list somewhere.
mm,
And that, you have a right to hold a musket, but what the fuck's an AR-15?
that's right. And quite frankly, if there are people who are being, suppressed in the United States, said militia should be formed to, you know, help free them and help them out, right? So I think all those people in Michigan that stood up on the steps of the courthouse should help, you know, in police brutality and police violence against African Americans. That's the way the militia should
Yeah.
work. At least that's what I read. I don't know, but
I
I
don't think
thought
they've
about
thought it
this.
through.
Yeah, no, they haven't thought it through. What I thought about this, Aaron, though, and once again, it's my context, right? I mean, I thought about religion. I thought about the church. There are a lot of originalists that are, um, in the church, and quite frankly, everybody who says that the Bible is an inerrant work, you're an originalist.
Yeah.
And the fact is, so if your daughter mouths off to you, Leviticus says, take her out and stone her.
Yeah. Or you can sell
If
her into slavery so
Yeah,
long
you can
as
sell her
you're
in slavery.
compensated appropriately
Um,
for it.
your wife is your property.
Mhm.
Um,
Which she
a-
agrees with, apparently.
and obviously, she's property. And the fact of the matter is that you can deny her anytime you want to, and say that no, she's her, that she's your sister or your
Mhm.
friend or something like that. Because what was that story that Abraham said about Sarah back in the Old Testament? Said, oh well, I don't want to get killed, so this isn't my wife. This is actually my sister.
Right.
I'm like, some of the
Very
things that
white stripes thing going on there.
there you go. There you go. And so some of the things that we hold so dear, really close as far as Americans go in the Constitution, we we forget that if we hold those truths to truly be self-evident, then it's calling on us to use our intellect
Mm-hmm.
and our emotional intelligence as well to say, okay, look, if the Constitution says that everybody has the opportunity to pursue life, liberty, and happiness,
Mm-hmm.
then we all deserve to pursue that equally, which means the LGBTQIA community, guess what? You don't have to fight for your rights because you automatically should have them
Yeah.
as a human
Yes.
being.
Absolutely.
African Americans, guess what? You're Americans. We're Americans because guess what? We have the same rights. And the fact is that we talk about oh, everybody has the same rights in America. No, everybody doesn't have the same rights in America
And it's designed
because
that way.
it's designed that way. Aaron, I think from episode 1, we both have said that this system in America has never, and I'm going to repeat it again, has never been broken. It's not broken. It is the most efficient form of
Mm-hmm.
subjugation on our planet.
Mm-hmm.
I would put the American way of life and the American dream up against apartheid any freaking day. And I would say, you know what? The fact is that it is manufactured in a way that purposely leaves people out, that
Mm-hmm.
purposely, says it gives that bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
You can have this, but not
Yeah.
really.
Not really.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, that was my diatribe.
Oh, that's okay. I had an aside from what you were talking about as far as religious originalists, and I'm gonna blow your mind with two thoughts here.
Oh,
One,
good.
there are no white people in the Bible. Just look it up.
Yes.
Secondly,
My man.
abortion appears nowhere at all in the Bible. And homosexuality is only tangentially touched upon. So,
In a positive way, though.
yeah, and
David and Jonathan.
also,
David and Jonathan.
if you're planting your tomatoes and your corn side by side, I can beat you to death.
Done.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I know.
if you touch your wife or girlfriend while she's menstruating, she's unclean.
No bueno. No bueno.
And there's a lot of shit that, I mean, look, Bible was written a couple thousand years ago by good intentioned, not bright people.
You are much more optimistic than I am about that, my friend.
I don't think they set out to, I believe they were writing down a story that had been passed on to them for hundreds of years. And many of them are, stories meant, it's kind of like Aesop's fables to a certain extent. Like,
true,
we're gonna laud these certain people and we're gonna hold them up, and these are life lessons. And I've always said Bible's a good book to read, just like the Bhagavad Gita is a good book to read. It's a long book to read.
Don Quixote. I mean, it's a good book to read. I'm just saying.
But read the Quran, read the Talmud, read all of these things.
Yes.
There's value to them, but much like, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, they reflect the period in which they were written and the shortcomings of the periods in which they were written. And in order to, I get originalism. I understand the point behind it. And I think there's some validity to it. I understand the underlying thinking, but it does a disservice to the people who wrote it, quite frankly, because they're not trying to say I wrote a document for all time.
No,
we're saying these are things that we believe should be upheld, and your particular time will tell you how to interpret those things.
Mm-hmm. We need to treat these documents. Well, no, I'm not going to give my opinion. I'm just going to throw this out there. What would happen if we treated them as living documents? What would happen if we treated the Constitution as a living document?
There's a school of thought that does that.
Well, there are actually nations that do this. I
Mhm.
think, in the fact that they look at their constitution and they're like, okay, what needs to evolve from this thought?
Mhm.
The fact is that we don't necessarily need a standing militia anymore.
We
We
shouldn't.
we don't.
No.
The fact is that, well, LGBTQIA people are people, African Americans are people, women are people. So all men in the, original phrasing means people.
Yes. Yes. It was
So
meant.
for
Yes.
those who are dense,
Mhm.
I didn't say dumb, but those who are dense who don't get it,
Distinction without a difference.
what the heck? Yeah, exactly. What the heck? Let's change it from all men to all people.
Yes.
What would that hurt? And so I think that the evolution of those documents, even the Bible, evolution of those documents, if the Bible, the central message about the Bible is truly about love and acceptance,
Mhm.
then why are there so many contradictory pieces in that document
Right.
that says anything
Well,
but love and acceptance?
and you know, God's lessons or Christ's lessons or whoever you follow, all of these are pretty simple. We didn't need however many books of the Bible to say don't be a dick and treat each other nicely.
Exactly.
We that, but again, they're a reflection of the time. People spoke in allegory. People told these, this was how you said that these are morals and ethics and these are
Hmm.
things that we should be doing. I'm going to tell you a story, and at the end of
Yep.
that story, hopefully you come away with a lesson. The problem is when you do that, it gets left open to an awful lot of interpretation. We've
True.
simultaneously had people use the Bible to back civil rights, and we've had people who've used the Bible to justify slavery.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
it's open to far too much interpretation because of that. And that's a human thing. That's the fact that humans felt the need to do that instead of
Hmm.
just like, hey, God said this, do it.
You know, the Bible was actually used, Aaron, and I'm getting kind of personal here, but the Bible was actually used to run me out of my very first ministry I was in
Well, of course.
because the person who stood up in front of the congregation in order to vote me out said, red birds and bluebirds don't mix. And that's the issue we have here in our congregation.
Is that a biblical quote?
I,
Is that specifically come from the
no,
Bible? Oh,
no, but it's
but
talk.
here's what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that could be some shit that actually appears somewhere in the Bible,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
somebody reads that, and instead of
Hmm.
interpreting it as maybe, like
Bullshit.
like well, like you can't put two beta fish in a tank together. Maybe that
Yeah.
was what they were trying to say, right? Like maybe it was some shit like that,
Noah, whatever you do,
right?
do not put two betas together on the ark.
Yeah,
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah.
yeah.
But
But
man, I'm telling you, you're right. You're absolutely right. This shit has been used
yeah,
throughout
it can
time.
be used anyway, and it. I just had this thought. Have you ever seen the movie 1776? Not the greatest movie of all time.
No,
It's
but I'm gonna put it on my list though. I'll put it
I
on my list.
okay. I mean, I'm not saying it because it's a fucking classic. It's a
Okay.
musical, um,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's basically about the Continental Congress and their attempts to write the Declaration of Independence.
So Hamilton kicks its ass.
Oh, Hamilton is like 10 times as good a musical as this. And
Awesome.
and
Good.
you'll
Good,
watch
good.
it as a movie. It's on par with like have you ever seen Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie
Oh, yes.
with
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So um
Okay, I probably
it's
will.
cheesy. It's cheesy.
Okay.
It's a cheesy movie. The
Yeah.
point I'm trying to get to is the entirety of this movie is about how Congress is attempting to write a single document and then agree on these terms. These are the terms by which we're saying we declare our independence from England, which in the history of the United States seems kind of important. I don't know.
Maybe.
Can you imagine Never mind writing a new document. That'd be fucking hysterical. Can you imagine bringing the Declaration of Independence, or for the purpose of this conversation, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights? Can you imagine saying, all right, Congress, we need to modernize this document? Can you imagine the monumental grandstanding and fuck-uppery that would be going on from the very first sentence?
You've got to patent that word.
Fuck-uppery?
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is poetry in motion right there, my friend.
I have a silver tongue, my friend.
That's awesome.
That's my wife.
No, you're right. That's beautiful. I love it. No, that's beautiful. No. Oh my God, the minds that would be exploding on the right. And quite frankly,
I think there's a lot of people on the left that aren't qualified too. I'm sorry.
That's what I was going to say. I think that there would be some people on the left that go, yeah. Oh, whoa.
No. Because they just, it is a beautiful document. The Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights are phenomenal historical documents. Let me throw this in as a personal thing. I have been to South Africa and did a lot of experiences, understanding apartheid and museums. I went to the Apartheid Museum on Congressional Hill. I went to the Mandela Museum that traces his life story and everything. And we went to Soweto.
Well, wow.
Which is it is short. It is not clever. It's short for Southwest Town or Southwest Township, and it's basically where the blacks were basically pushed out of Johannesburg into this portion of town, and they created this community, and it's kind of like, I don't know, South African Harlem is about the best way I can describe it. Like, yes, we got pushed here and we created a thriving community, and we will overcome. And because of that, we've created something entirely new and different because of it.
Did the white South Africans burn it down and fly over top of it and drop bombs?
I believe there's
rape and pillage.
I believe there's been a lot of warfare. Yes. I mean, there's been a lot.
I just wanted to find out because I wanted to see. Sorry.
Well, I mean, there's definitely. I believe there's a movie about an uprising in Soweto where the school children refused to be taught in Afrikaans, which is the white dialect of South African linguistics. Pardon me, I'm not that person.
No, I get what you're saying.
But in Soweto, there is this round temple. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
You walk in, and their Bill of Rights is written out, and I want to say it's around this like eternal flame, like the eternal flame that we have in Arlington Cemetery.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not talking out of turn. It's definitely around something in the middle, and for some reason I want to say it's an eternal flame. I apologize if it's not. It's cool, but their Bill of Rights is delineated as you walk around this thing, and it's more than ours. They've literally said every person has a right to work. Every person has a right to all government facilities that
That's socialist. That's socialist, man.
Well,
that has no place in the United States. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I guess so, but I'm not sure where I started with this, but my point is that there's more than what we've done.
Yeah.
We think we're the end all be all and the pinnacle. No, and first off, we didn't even come up with the idea, right? Like, I mean, we stole French liberal democracy, right?
Yep.
Like they started it a couple hundred years before us, and they fucked it up a couple times. Like, there's heads in baskets because of it. Like, we didn't even stoop to chopping heads off. So
no, we just created American slavery. There's been
we perfected it. We
perfected it, dude.
Again.
Well,
Here's what's funny
I
is we used to be the 3M of the world. You have a good idea? We're going to take it and make it better.
the 3M. Yes.
You figured out how to invade another culture.
We're going to do it better.
Steal children from the womb, bring them back here and make them feel as if they should be beholden to this ideology rather than their own, that they would betray their own ideals, that their own genealogy. Oh, fuck, man. That's fantastic.
We got that.
Now we can't even make a Keurig.
So with that being said, let's transfer.
Let's do it.
To my favorite part of the show. Hey, Aaron. And we are going old school in this Hey, Aaron segment. Hey, Aaron, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some memes, like the best memes from 2020, and you're just going to react to them.
I will be Joel Embiid, and I will not be impressed by my memes. Hold on. Let me freshen my drink here.
Freshen your drink. Okay.
I came downstairs and spilled all my ice.
Oh, that's not good.
But I got extra ice because of my Yeti. By the way, if anybody's watching, and specifically Yeti's fucking baller. Holy shit.
And seriously. Tito's vodka. Tito's vodka. There you go.
Here's what you do, folks. If you fill your Yeti with ice and then fill it half full of vodka and then the rest of the way with whatever you like to mix your vodka with, I promise you two things. One, if for some reason you walk away from your drink for several hours, it will still be ice cold when you come back to it. It will have ice cubes in it. And two, if you walk away from your drink for several hours, I will probably drink it.
There you go. So thank you very much for that endorsement. And one last thing before
Aaron's going to drink your shit.
Before we get into this, hey, I want to send a not shout out to the chicks on the right. We don't like you. We don't like you. And the fact of the matter is that you have no idea what you're talking about, and you just got picked up because you are two suburban white women who are talking the shit that the right wants to hear. And so if you would ever like to take us on, please let us know. We are more than happy.
Mainly you're just not funny. You're not funny.
You're not funny at all. You and the Hedge twins and Candace Owens. I'm throwing you all in the same basket right now.
Diamond and Silk. Diamond and Silk, come get some. Come get some Diamond and Silk.
Throwing shade at you right now. Man, did I say at the beginning of the show?
Clint Eastwood, I'm talking to your chair.
There you go. Did I say that I made dirty martinis before the show?
You did, and you should make some after the show.
I am. But let's do this. Hey,
much like a dirty martini, the chicks on the right taste funny.
That's actually pretty funny. I'm glad I'm your friend. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share this with you, and these are according to, and I forget the site, Optimize Screen for Video. I'm going to do that just in case. There we go. These are the best memes as called by Thrillist.
All right. Okay. I love Thrillist.
Okay, there you go.
Let me tell you, Thrillist is awesome for their city guides. Absolutely awesome for their city guides. Also,
city guides.
You probably want to hide your history bar there.
What? This right here? Oh, it's just Erickson's and Maslow and stuff like that. I don't know what here.
I'm just kidding.
A lit review site? Really? I'm like, that's scandalous.
Give LexisNexis up.
Okay, so here we go. The best memes. Okay, so I want you to react to this one, Aaron. This is the famous broom challenge. Here we go.
I know this one.
All right, y'all. So NASA said today is the only day that your broom can stand up on its own. And watch this.
That's not true.
Oh my God. Y'all, no strings, nothing. What?
CJ Craig did this in an episode of West Wing, but it's an egg. It's the autumnal equinox that you're supposed to set an egg on its end.
Yes, and yes, she did that. I remember that episode. Okay, first of all, did you know that West Wing has a reboot coming out? Like, I
Yeah, well,
think it's this week.
yeah, they're specific. I don't think it's a reboot. They're definitely doing
It's a
an
reunion
event.
type
Yes,
episode.
and it's specifically to talk about the 2020 election, which in the history of the show, they're sort of one-off things, like Isaac and Ishmael and stuff like that are not their greatest pieces, but
Okay.
I'm going to be super happy to see Bradley Whitford and Allison
Yes.
Janney, and specifically the
Yes.
man, Martin Sheen, our president, Jed Bartlett.
I will cry. I will cry. I promise I will.
Although technically when the show ended, our president was Matt Santos. So,
Matt Santos is cool too.
He
I'll
is.
take him too.
I like LA Law.
So here's the next one. This one, good old Dolly. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's a good one. You know what? She never ceases to just, she doesn't come out a lot. She doesn't say a whole lot of things, but when she does, it's quick to the point. And somebody asked her in an interview about Black Lives Matter, and she's like, "Well, duh. Who would think?
Yeah, right.
No matter. Like, of course, Black
Right.
Lives Matter. Like, this is self-evident kind of thing." And she's like, because she changed the theme of Dollywood. She got rid of anything.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she got rid of anything that spoke to antebellum South. And
wow.
Yes. She said, "Look, I'm far past due to update this place, and if I lose some people, then they aren't the people I want there anyway."
Well, I don't think she's going to lose very many people, especially with that Tinder pick. I'm just saying, and I'm just saying. Dolly.
The funny thing is the rumor the big rumor is that she always wore long sleeve shirts because she's got tattoos all over. And that is not true. She's like, "Look, this is who I am. This is how I dress."
Yeah.
She's got a great interview with Barbara Walters from like the mid '80s, and Barbara's like, acting like who you are, and she's like, "Look, I do exactly what I want. I'm not putting on a show for anybody. This is me. If you have to do that, yeah, I love her. I love
Dolly.
Do you follow Trey Crowder, the liberal redneck?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
He's
yes.
He's awesome, and he loves him some Dolly. I think he's got a Dolly tattoo.
Yep. I'd love to have a beer with her. Just sit down, and just talk about
she'd
all
be cool.
day, just all day.
Yep.
Next one. No, not that one. No, not even. Oh yeah, the other. Oh, here. No, this one. Okay, you ready?
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol Baskin. Just took a kitty cat ride around my kitty cat, meow meow kitty cat lake. And I just want to thank everybody for being a supporter of the Big Cat Kitty Cat Rescue. Now, order of business, we stopped feeding live rabbits to the big cats, so that's a big improvement. And also, I did not kill my husband.
Oh, that's great.
Into the distance.
Just gonna zone out in the distance.
Oops. I think it's time for a cat nap.
She nailed.
This girl's killing it.
Okay, your opinion about her impression of Carol Baskin?
That's a phenomenal impression of Carol Baskin. And did you see that? Apparently, this week Doc Antle got in trouble for trafficking in wildlife, which we all knew he was already doing anyway. So
yeah, there you go. It had to happen.
I made it to the end of that documentary, and honestly, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not sure if I could be more disappointed in myself for having watched it.
Yep, I hear you.
I felt like I tuned in to a 10-episode car crash, and I just kept driving slowly by it.
Just kept going by it, man. All right. Okay, so here you go. Here's to appease not only the Star Wars inside of you, but the Mandalorian inside of you. Here we go.
Yes, absolutely.
Chicken nuggies.
Chicken nuggies.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Every time we've tried to get very far in the Mandalorian, one of us, I won't say who, but one of us falls asleep. It's a good show. I don't think it's worth keeping Disney Plus. I've seen all the Marvel movies. I've seen everything I can watch on Disney Plus. I don't need it. And
you can never get enough of Scarlett Johansson. I'm sorry, you can't.
But I
You
have
can't.
any number of ways.
Black Widow.
I have any
Really?
number of ways of watching those. I don't need to be paying for another subscription service for one TV show that I can't
Man.
get through because somebody keeps falling asleep at 2:00 in the morning.
Well, then that's your issue. Why are you watching at 2 for? Jeez, man, come on.
When do you
Come on.
watch things?
I watch them like when I'm supposed to be working. Anyway,
That's fair.
did I
have
say
soc-
that out
I have
loud?
so-
Oh wow,
Dude, I have soccer on during
my
that.
bad.
That would be cutting
Well,
into
there-
my international soccer time.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so I had to give this young lady a shout out. This was cool.
So
Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches got to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You wanna say so?
That's cool. That is pretty cool. Do that on stilts, dude. Come on.
I way back in the Gordo days, hung out with a group of crazy people. We did a lot of partying, if you can imagine me doing such things. Did a lot of partying, and there was a guy that hung out, and he was a stilt walker, and it was pretty cool to have somebody around them. Yeah.
See, this is why I love just doing this, doing your reaction, because we learned so much about you, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm telling you, this is awesome. Okay, last one of the night. Here we go.
Oh, a llama.
Me paps, jou, 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 jou. Me paps, afkak kosten, yum, yum, yum.
I don't even know what I watched, and that was kind of fun. Hold on, play
Here
that
we go.
again.
Let's do it again.
Play it again.
Jou, 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 jou. Me paps, afkak kosten, yum, yum, yum.
Oh, I'm going to do it one more time.
Do you have any idea who this actually is?
Jou, jou,
Yes.
jou, 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 jou. Me paps, afkak kosten, yum, yum, yum.
All right, I'm gonna have
Okay.
to listen to this whole
So
song.
here's the story. There have already been a bunch of new TikTok dances that have taken over the video app this year, but by far the most prevalent was the Say So
Doja
dance.
Cat.
Haley Sharp, yes, Doja Cat's hit song. Story of how this dance made the song go viral and vice versa is a fascinating one, but even if you're not up to delving into the complexities of the internet fame, this dance is easy enough to learn. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Here we go. This one, Mi Pan. It's a Russian thing, dude. It's a Russian cereal commercial jingle. That's exactly what it is. It's Russian.
It made more sense when it was Doja Cat.
I know, but one more time.
By the way,
it's-
have you watched
you
Doja
got-
Cat's like "I'm a Cow" or whatever it's called?
dude, you gotta bob your head to it. Here we go.
I did.
Jou, 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 jou.
And this is a cereal commercial.
Afkak kosten, yum, yum, yum.
It's amazing. I'm like, this is absolutely incredible.
Russian cereal commercial jingle.
Yeah,
Just with the-
translates in Spanish to
mistranslated, okay.
my bread, mi pan.
The coronavirus has spread so quickly in the movie. Face.
Crazy. No, yeah, here it is. This is the last one. Check this out.
Don't watch Face Off during coronavirus, kids. Do not do it. Be bad for your health.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is
That's our
Aaron,
show. That's our
for
show.
tonight. That's our show. Oh man. Hey guys,
Fucking A.
listen, I every freaking Wednesday, this is the best part of my day. And part of it is because actually all of it. I'm a Cow is a banger. AO just told us that on Facebook. I have to
Oh,
look
do
that up.
we get one?
Yeah.
I'm a Cow is a banger, Ayo.
I'm a
And it's
Cow.
the weirdest damn song I've ever heard or seen. The video is crazy. I don't understand how this woman has a career at all.
So let me just say, you guys listen, thank you so much. Those of you who are going to be watching this on YouTube, man, thank you so much. Last week we had over 130 views. Let's go for 150 views. Matter of fact, guys, listen, you guys are just awesome. And thank you so much for watching the show. And I will hand it over to you, Aaron, to close us out, my friend.
Another one. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I recommend anybody who doesn't know, go down the fucking Doja Cat rabbit hole right now. I'm not, because if you hate Megan Thee Stallion, you're gonna hate Doja Cat.
Oh,
But if you like Megan Thee Stallion, I think you're probably gonna find Doja Cat kind of funny.
are they gonna think Doja Cat is like kind of, is a wop? Oh,
I mean, I'm pretty sure she is.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned. So let's recap where we've been tonight. So we have been all over. Let's remember here are the main takeaways. The GOP is putting out illegal ballot boxes. They've put forth a woman for the Supreme Court who doesn't understand federal law and is perhaps a racist. And we had a super spreader event in Sanford, Florida, which is the home of Trayvon Martin. So I don't know. Add them
We
up. Add up
did
all these
talk
things.
about it.
I know, man. I know, but
Next week.
Um,
Next week.
I'll say this: I found out that Barron Trump apparently had the coronavirus at the same time his parents did, and that sucks. I feel bad for the kid. I do. I feel bad. I feel bad for any children
Yep.
in the White House during the period while their parents are there, because that would just be horrible. I can't imagine being a young kid. I can't imagine being a teenager. So
Underneath the microscope.
I hope he comes out of this unscathed. He does not deserve anything untoward because of this. Beyond that, hey, folks, we're getting down to the wire. It is October 14th. That means we're less than 20 days?
Nope. 23, right?
23 days. So,
No,
hopefully-
26
hopefully-
days, 26.
Hopefully
I
you're
don't know.
registered. Hopefully you know who you're voting for. Again, if you don't, I've got a full bottle of petroleum jelly to help you out with that. And we can have a discussion after we wash it out of your ears. But hey, look, if you've made your decision, get out there and vote. It's your civic duty and your right. So please do it. We can disagree on the specifics later, but do it. It's important.
Yep.
Beyond that, hope everybody had a good time. This was a fun one. We were just shooting from the hip. We just wrote down a list of topics and did the damn thing. Shout out to Taylor. Hopefully she has some thoughts. We didn't delve too deeply into originalism, and I think we actually just kind of made fun of it. But
Yep.
I know you'll have some comments, and that's the beauty of this, is you leave some comments and we can make it part of the show next week. So if you got some thoughts about anything we said and you watch this 10 hours from now or next Tuesday, I don't care. Comment on the video. I'll get it. Evan will get it. And we'll throw it in the next one, because interacting with you guys is absolutely the best part of this. Knowing people are tuning in, loving it, hating it, making fun of us. It's all good. I mean, we'd be doing the same damn thing at the bar. Like if you walked by and saw us and you had a good funny joke at our expense, good on you, man. I'll probably buy you. Seriously,
That's right.
I'll probably buy you a first shot. I like a good quip.
Absolutely.
So once again, love everybody out there. We're doing this for the fun, and we're 27 weeks in, and chances are we're going to be here 27 weeks from now, because apparently we're sticking with stage 5 because it's going so damn well.
Oh yeah.
With this, I mean, we're setting records. We're setting records with hospitalizations and new cases.
Over
hey,
2,000.
this is the definition of winning. I mean, drink the tiger blood. It's all good. So shout out to everybody out there. We love you. Hope to see you again soon. Like Evan said last week, I'll cook for you. Fuck it.
Hey, and once again, let me just throw this out. Black people, vote.
Black people vote. Black people
Vote.
Your lives matter. I love you.
Yes.
LGBTQ, your lives matter.
Absolutely.
Your lives matter. Latinos,
Absolutely.
Your Latinx.
Latinx.
Lives matter.
Yep.
We got you back. Love you people out there, and keep doing it.
Love you, my man.